Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Belgium. The Circuit Spa-Francorchamps is today's arena for round 8 of the L50 LNR Late Night Racing 50% Race Distance Championship.
Inters, for sure.
Great stuff.
It'll be very interesting to see if they're going to do a stop on the Inters or not.
Absolutely. And the lights are off, and we are underway for the Belgian Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. We're already seeing some carbon fiber flying in the back as Saku Cho gets a great start, but will it be enough to keep his first position? It looks like it, as we have a lot of carnage in the back there with a few Ferraris running
VSC,
wide.
VSC. Virtual safety car is out.
Definitely not a start without its victims. We're seeing George in the second Ferrari dropping back. But up front, all peaceful by the looks of it. Saku keeping first position.
Indeed, I'm on board with Shunin here. Down to P11 off the start. Wasn't a very good start. I was watching on board with him. He got just contacting on the exit and he just wasn't able to get the foot down as much as he wanted to.
Definitely, and he's got a Williams up his inside of Simply Air, not quite working out that move, but Shonen is currently trailing a pair of Red Bull of Reifler and the Alfa Romeo of El Jefe, and he's looking very competitive and very quick down this back straight into the bus stop chicane.
He's had to lift off because he was so close to the back of the Alfa and he didn't want to spin going through turn 18.
We've got yellow flags in Sector 3 as the McLaren of Top Tier Noob looks to be struggling very heavily, missing much of its front wing, actually the entirety of its front wing. He's going to be looking to get back into the pits for sure.
Well, of course, the best overtaking opportunity would be into the Les Combes chicane at the end of the Chemo straight, but that probably won't be able to get past him there. He might have to try and move into the bus stop.
Indeed,
maybe
going
through
side
here,
by
as he goes
side.
side by side.
On the back straight.
It's a very brave move by
Shonen.
A lot of trust in El Jefe, and he's got the move done. He's going to be sizing up the Williams next. Yeah, Seb and Marius are swapping places.
Are they going side by side through a Rouge? My goodness. At the very last moment, Sebi backs out. Probably.
Yeah, Marius has got a time penalty now for multiple warnings.
And Sebi making a move down the inside, going into Lacombe, straddling the inside of the track, pulls in right in front of Marius, and Marius looking to try to sneak it down the inside, and unfortunately they collide, and Marius spins and destroys his car into turn number 8. How unfortunate.
And that's a safety car. Safety car's out. Shunnen is in the pit lane. I wonder what time, if he's hardly going to go for drives. I wonder why he's in. He might have wing damage.
Very, very intriguing stuff. Let's take a look at his team, his mechanics expecting him now. Doesn't?
Oh, he's got a time penalty.
That's right. No wing change for him, only fresh tires, and he is on another set of inters.
He's lost 3 positions because of that. That's going to set him back a bit in this race. He's going to have to do all that hard work all over again.
As I usually have before in the past. But in this case, Saku is behind me. I know that. What if I should brake check him? No.
The safety car's in this lap.
Yep, so I'm going to scoot into the pit lane and back to racing.
Not a bad $200,000 company vehicle you're driving.
He's really slow the pack down here.
That's right, and he's going extremely
Everyone almost 2 by 2
in the final corner, giving Sebi just that little bit of a brake check, bringing it all the way down to the start-finish line, and Saku puts the foot down. He does not have Sebi fooled, as we have yellow flags, and Zippy George is out of the session in the final before even the bus stop chicane. We're going to stay on board with our leaders now, though, as Hanti is making substantial gains onto Sebi in third, and Pineapple and Cracky trading positions behind those guys.
Everyone very close in the safety car. We start taking ready and very carefully.
Indeed, and it
looks like it's almost 3 wide between Replica, Impervious, and Shunnen. As Replica tries to hold station, hold his position. Shunnen's trying to get the move done on both of them. It's 3 wide into Les Combes.
Just a slight touch with the Ferrari.
The Ferrari's around. It looked like it was a very, very small amount of contact, but it was still enough to send the Ferrari spinning the wrong way.
Yeah, that's Replica. He's now reversing back. He's dropped back to 14th at dead last right now. I think Robert's too far back.
And that's the
And
second.
I'll be
very,
chatting
very big
with Zippy
shame.
soon. I'll see what Zippy has to say about that accident that occurred at the
It
restart.
was 3 wide into there. There was no way they're all making it out, and it turned out the Ferrari was the one that was going to lose out. Indeed.
Shown
Shouldn't look. Oh, it's another VSC.
It
It
looks
appears
like
that
a-
Roberts gone out at turn 12, or
Yep.
not turn 12, turn 11.
Yep.
That is turn 12. My bad. A Puon. He's after spinning out.
Very slippery corner, that one. A very large runoff, though, so I would be curious to know how that happened as we have
Oh
Seti
wow!
going into the pits here.
Have I just seen what I've just seen? Renault's after punting himself into the either the Williams or the Alfa Romeo, and then gone flying.
That's
on my
Cara.
screen.
That's
Cara
Cara, yeah.
just
Could be
didn't
tight.
brake for the bus stop and just went flying. And only 13 runners are in this race.
Replica's in the box right now. New front wing. I'm not sure if he served a time penalty, but the Ferrari's back out. Plumped last, but still plenty of time. And I'm sure there's lots more action as we're only on lap 7:22 here.
And Shannon's gone past El Jefe into La Source. Now he's up into P5, really coming back from his starting grid position, which is quite low. Now he's got the Williams to overtake again.
Up into
On
fifth
another
place,
VSC again.
And
I wonder what this one's been caused by.
Yeah, it looks like all cars are moving on track, so... Oh, maybe not.
Reifler. He's
Reifler's-
left the session.
Yeah, Reifler's been
Though I
out
don't think it
since
was him
the
that caused
last,
it.
And Shonen is right on the back of Cracky. Those guys have been
Will he
battling
go for the
quite a bit.
move?
Looking down
It's
the
a bit
inside,
too
not
far back,
quite.
locking up.
Light lock up for him, and he's going to have to try to get that better exit out of the bus stop chicane. You can see there's still chunks of car laying off the racing line on the left there on exit. He's going to think about that move on the Williams, thinks better of it, and tucks in behind for that long run down up through a Rouge and onto the Kemmel straight. Slipstream is going to help him here, but he's going to have to be brave through that uphill section, keep his foot in, and close that gap to the Williams. Slight twitch of the
And
rear end.
he's done it very well. He's going to get a beautiful run on the Williams. Wheel to wheel, it looks like. The
Having to
Williams
let off-
edging him out on top end. This is going to be very, very tricky into the Lacombe chicane.
Let's see if these two drivers manage
Wheel
to
to
get
wheel.
through in one
And
piece.
another VSC has come out. I think he was just ahead, I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Especially with his rival so far down the order.
We're going to go on board now with Impervious in 6th place as he is closing down Zay, thinking of making a move into Lacombe, but not quite close enough just yet. But he looks like he has all sorts of pace, being very careful on the throttle around turn number 9 and then down to Bruxelles, staying less than a quarter of a second behind his rival. The Red Bull running just ever so wide. Impervious sticking his nose down the inside, but the next corner returns to the left. Doesn't matter for him, though. That perfect corner exit he got lifts him into 5th position. What a move. Superb pace from him as we go up through Radillon and Rouge, kissing every single curb, trying to straighten that line out as much as is possible. Overtake on, engine to Rich, and Shonen is going to move down the inside into Lacombe. And that's going to
I don't think I Am Pineapple made that too difficult for him. He knows the pace is Shun Sky and he just wants to tuck him behind for a bit.
Absolutely. And now we'll get to see how Shonen's pace matches up with that of Saku. 9.9 seconds between them now, and we'll see how that gap develops as we are on lap 10 of 22, nearly at the halfway point of the race.
Indeed, and we're waiting for this break in the rain to come, and they're going to move to dries. We're going to see who has a wet weather setup and who doesn't, or who has a dry pace setup, and see what the delta is like underneath dry conditions.
Well, the forecast at the moment is showing still wet for the next 30 minutes. I'm not sure if this is actually updated with a time expansion, shall we say. And then it's starting to be dry around 45 minutes. So we might be up for a wet race for the whole race at this point.
And we've got a Red Bull in the second sector. That is Zay. And it looks like he's got one of his wheels sitting on top of his nose, and that's not going to do him any good for trying to get around this racetrack. So another one bites the dust on exit from Pouon, and that is very unfortunate to have lost another car. It looks like the Red Bulls are packing it up, and they are done for the day. Whoa, this pack has stretched out itself. As I say that, Tony Montana just has a snap of oversteer through turn numbers 17 and 18, and he overcorrected and absolutely smashed his car into the exit barrier, into the tire wall there. And that is his race over. And now, quite literally, no matter how fast or slow you go, if you finish, the points are yours, rewarding our more patient and careful drivers. I think you're right.
Well, I'm showing that
running ever so slowly.
a little hack into the FIA weather control.
And Saku's in. Saku's in.
Oh, he is.
What tire is he going to go into though? Onto though?
I'll give you a pit stop time. Let's see how well the pit stop crew can do. Generally, they do about 2.5 seconds to change those tires. So let's see how his team will handle
Those are
it.
dry tires going onto the car.
Going on to slicks. Wow.
Wait, softs. He's gone to softs.
Yep, those are softs on the car. I don't think the crossover has happened yet. Looking at the track, I think the inters are going to be faster. He probably came in because the tires were done, and not because he wanted to.
We've got Impervious in the pits as well, also putting on soft tires. So clearly,
but crucially, he's come well out ahead of Sebi. That's going to be crucial for his race.
Absolutely, and Impervious was running ahead of Sebi in third place, and he pitted.
But will Sebi actually, on those faster inters, be able to overtake him?
We will have to see.
I think that if Shunnen stays out until the crossover, he's going to get it. I think if he comes in the slap, and Saku's gone
wide in Lacombe. Yep,
that's very wide.
And Sebi just
and that's
overtakes
Sebi
him down the
ahead.
inside.
Sebi's gone ahead.
Wow,
this is good information right now. I'm sure Jeff is on the microphone on the radio, calling the show and going, let's just wait a little bit. Let's just see how these drivers that just gambled on softs go for their times before he can make a decision to box or not.
Pineapple coming up on Saku now on a very fresh set of inters, actually. And we'll be able to see how much pace he's got, switching his rear end slightly out of 18 into the bus stop chicane. Closing that gap, closed about 0.6 just on that straight alone.
And he's going to go through.
So much traction on exit from the bus stop chicane. And that is job done for Pineapple as well. Saku just tumbling down the order at the moment.
Don't get me wrong, the crossover period is coming and it's going to be very soon, and Shannon's going to have to pick his lap, as he may himself overheat his inters and lose out again to Saku.
But it looks like
I'm on board with the McLaren behind him. He's closing massively. You can see the AlphaTauri ahead just struggling for grip in comparison.
I think
McLaren.
I think Jeff needs to be fired on these guys. It's a little too early to call these tires.
McLaren's gone down the inside. That's another position Shaku's lost.
My weather forecast is still showing me as it's overcast and there's still a little bit of rain. So I think that's way too early to call for go straight onto the soft dries. He's got the fresh inters. He set the fastest last lap for his personal. He did a 155.8, but also Schoen did a 155.8 as well. So those inters are still working very well. Why they make these decisions for the softs? These guys on the softs are at 2:30 time, simply as off the road too.
And yeah, simply not able to keep it on the track. And Saku's cut the bus stop. He's cut the bus stop because he couldn't slow the car down on time. Saku, from the lead of this race and pole position, he's guaranteed points. But he's lost out massively.
It's also costing him time penalties as well. Saku picks up another time penalty. He's got 10 seconds of time penalties just by making that bad decision on these tires. So it's not just costing him time on track, it's also costing him penalty times as they're struggling to get around the corners.
Exactly.
It definitely seems a little bit like an unforced error, because he was running in first with still over 6 seconds of a gap to the next car. I wonder what prompted him to risk it all onto these softs. He could have definitely afforded to stay out a little bit longer or pit onto inters, but whatever it was, and maybe we'll get a chance to hear from him after the race, it is definitely sent him the exact opposite.
So shout out there from Zippy there. Unfortunately, about Zippy was already retired there. But Zippy, his teammate, he's going for his teammate, obviously. He's a shout out to Replica. Good job. Replica's up to P8 there in the Ferrari. And obviously on the right tire strategy at the moment, still being on the Inters.
I'm just monitoring the pace of the softs versus the inters. The softs still seem to be slower. particularly the guys who are already out there are struggling massively with those tires, not being able to keep them in the temperature range with all the water out on the track, and not being able to keep it on the car under control and the braking on. Yep.
So,
yeah, he's in the third sector.
but we'll go on board with Shonen because Shonen deserves this little screen time, shall we say, a bit of advertising time for the Haas drive. Good to see a Haas up in P1.
Yeah, this is the final lap. I'll probably just mention. I'll just go. Yep. All right. Shonen going through the final few corners. It's been a very, very strong race from him, working his way through the field and then just enjoying himself out front. But as he goes through the very final corner, take the checkered flag. Today's race winner is Shonen as he weaves across the line. That's a very well-deserved victory. He's going to be very happy about that.
Yep, Sebi in P2 there. Good job there for the...
Sebi just coming through the final corners now to take P2. Very quiet race from him, but still very, very, very strong race and very good.
Yeah, and look at him. He's Canadian might catch pineapple. He has made the move on the inside.
Down the inside.
At the bus stop. Is he going to make it stick for the McLaren driver and move up the P3? Can he make it do it? Wow. Where did he came out of absolutely nowhere? He's got P3.
Track.
No, he hasn't. All the
penalties.
penalties.
He's got a time penalty.
He got an extra 3 seconds. They were
P4.
parred, but he got a 3-second time penalty. Well, that cost him. Well, at least he gets a little bit of a thrill and gave us a little bit of a thrill
gone off
towards
the track again on those soft tires. Not really having the most fun race.
Great
Guaranteed that replica gets him. Oh, DNS has just been enabled. The crossover is just now. As he spins across the line.
And replica takes
I think he's going to be very frustrated with himself as there's a crash after the racing line.
Yep. And that it will be it. And previous, obviously, being a lap down, should still finish in P8 on the soft tires there. And that will be your round out of the top 10. If you'd like to run through that list there as we're going to watch Shonen.
Hey, give me a second.
And there is our driver
Oh,
of the
driver
day.
of the day, Shonen.
Shonen.
I think he deserves that one full-heartedly.
He certainly does. His race suit looks quite dry, considering he's been soaked in a wet race. But there it is. Does the little dance. Good job. Another trophy for the cabinet.
So for your race rundown, P1 Shonen, P2 Sebi, P3 is I Am Pineapple, P4 is Hiniti, P5 is El Jefe, P6 is Replica, P7 in the end, your pole man, Saku Shu, P8 is Impervious, Cracky is P9 and he's been lapped, and then everyone else is DNF'd.
Yeah, that's right. To finish first you have to finish. Obviously,
that is correct, and Shunen's taking that to heart from P10 to P1. He deserves every bit of that champagne.
He does. He must be getting sick of the champagne right now. Winning.
I think he has.